So I'm so happy that we're talking about this topic because it's extremely important, especially to have that self-awareness for you middle children out there. But what I do want to go back to as well is we hit on favoritism. So I know you said, your sister is your mom's favorite. So let's elaborate on that, and, I'll chime in as, things occur that we're in agreement with.
Yeah, so I did say to you that I thought for so many years that my older sister was my mom's favorite. Mm-hmm. And it was actually funny because last night I was sitting down with my mom and my dad, and they actually said something to me that kind of opened my eyes, something that I just didn't know for 26 years. And my mom said to me, she said, it's not that, your sister was my favorite, because actually, I think you're funner to be around than all of your siblings. She said, it's that I don't know how to relate to you. My sister was my mom's first child. So in a lot of ways, they relate to each other. That's the child that's been around the longest.
Right.
So in a lot of ways, they can relate to each other. My sister possibly listens to my mom more. Right. And for me, my mom said, you're my funnest sibling to be. You're my funnest child to be around. And I'm like, oh my God, like let's have more fun, because I do have fun with my mom, and I do notice like a lot of the times we are alike in so many ways, but in other ways, we're so much alike that sometimes we can do this, and I don't think that I'm not my mom's favorite anymore. Now I just know that we just don't relate in other ways that my brother and sisters may relate. So, not being a favorite, if you feel like you're not being the favorite, I just say hold on, because a lot of the times it's not you not being their favorite. They just don't know how to relate to you. And I think that it's important for mothers, daughters, sons, fathers to try to find ways to relate to one another. And I think that can mend a lot of relationships.
Yes, compatibility is definitely important, because I dealt with that too. The favoritism thing. Like I said, like I always thought like the second older sister was my mom's favorite. But I don't know. Maybe I thought maybe it was both of them that was the favorite, because my older sister was the one that my mom was always doing for, like always like doing, like whereas she couldn't then do for anyone else because she's always doing for her. And then my second older sibling was the one, like you said, the fun. That's the one that she always had the fun with. Like they have so much more in common. Like they're into the hair, the makeup, like they're into appearance and
same things.
Other things I ain't gonna say.
Yeah, and it's like,
they're just into the same thing. So, and then what I also had to take a look at is that my mother also had them while she was still a child. So it's kind of like, not saying that this may be their relationship, but they're kind of like friends. And like they're too close in age. Like, my older sister is 31, and then my sister like is right behind that, and like my mom in her 40s. So they just have, like you said, more to talk about, more to do, and she parents me more.
Yeah, because
so it's like, oh my God, it's like I'm always the one, like, do this, don't do that, blah 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 blah, and whatever the situation may be. And I'm like, well, why don't you have the same advice for them? Like,
well, here's how I see my life. I can't really speak for yours, but where I'm coming from, I believe that my mom always asked me to do things, and she always put extra pressure on me because I was so independent and I know how to do things without her. So with your mom asking you to do a lot of things and my mom asking me to do a lot of things, I believe that is just making us stronger, number one. But I also believe that they knew that we were able to handle it. Because let them give that same responsibility that she gave to you to someone else. You don't know how the situation could have played out, but she went to you because the middle child, I do believe that we're dependable. We're dependable. We're go-getters. We get up and we go for what we want.
Absolutely.
And it's because we don't have that voice. And it's because we're just trying to find our voice in the middle of all of this big family that we've been brought into. You know? And I believe that when it comes to just being compatible, a lot of the times I just believe that my mom, because she didn't know how to handle me, and because she didn't know how to be compatible with me, it made her run the opposite way and go to people who are compatible to her, who understood how she was feeling. And a lot of things, because me and my mom are similar in the same ways, but also different in the same ways, when I would be interested in poetry and my sister was interested in hair, she didn't know how to relate because only thing she knew was hair.
Right.
And that's what my mom knew. But then when it came to my sister, she's a nurse, she does hair, and now I'm a rap artist. And she's trying her best to be compatible with me, to try to figure out how she can take her level of knowledge and meet up with me. She's willing and she's open to be available to see what I'm interested in now.
Nice.
And I think that it comes from two parts. It takes two parts. You know, the mother or the father and the son and the daughter have to both be open to new things, new relationships, and being around and doing new things and being around new people. You know, my mom can relate to my sisters more. My mom can relate to my brother more. But me, I was always the kid that didn't like to shop too much. I was always deeper than the surface. And I think when she realized it was going to take more time, more dedication, and more attention to get into me, it wasn't perfect at first. It took a couple years for us to get in the flow of that. But eventually, it all worked out. And eventually, you know, we got an understanding. We were brought into this world. And we all have family, but we were brought into this world with people we just didn't have choices with. But the thing about it is, those who are still involved with their family, it's important to try to work around ways to just understand one another, especially when you have big families. Understanding is so important. Understanding, communication, and just know that everybody's not like you. And acceptance is
right.
super important.
Okay.
Acceptance. It's okay to play sports more than you like to do hair. That's my little sister. Or my little brother, he wrestles and my dad's a football player. Well, and it's
two different
things, but how can we all, this one big family, how can we all live with each other's lifestyles and say, I accept you. I don't want to change you. I want you to be just how you are. I love you just how you are.
Love it.
And some families can't accept that, And then that's what you have your outside family for.
That's why we gotta break them chains, break that cycle.
Right.
break it.
Break it down.
So speaking of family, I just wanna go into friends, because like you said, you kind of create your own family and friends are a part of family. So how would you group that all together? Like, how would you just make it one big package? Would you say you deal with your friends the same as you do your family when you have differences? Like, how would you approach that?
Yeah, I believe that no matter what differences, I believe that everybody should hold to their own standards. And no matter who you are, family, friends, you should try to be as dignified as possible and just remain who you are. Because regardless, people come and go in your life, and that's just the inevitable. But when you're good to people and you remain the same way, not to say, you're going to be, the same way throughout the entire relationship, but Danielle, we know she's honest, she has integrity, she's dignified. You remain that way and you act that way towards everybody, then really, unless they're hating, there's nothing that nobody can change or say about Danielle. And I believe that no matter if we're blood or not, or if we came out of the same womb, I believe that there's girls out there that's been there for me more than some family that I've had in my past. And there's people that blood wouldn't even make us closer. There's nothing that really blood can really do, because there's people that will give more to someone who's a friend than a family member. And honestly, I just say just treat people how they treat you, and take people with a grain of salt. If someone's good to you, then be good to them. And if someone needs a family member or just an extra sister or an extra brother that they didn't have, I say be that person for them, because there's nothing wrong with being, support in someone's life. And everybody needs support. Everybody needs support. And I also feel like those who do have family members out there that's supporting them, hold on to those people and love those people, and try your best to, I always say it's always the ones around you all the time that you hurt the most. So try, when the world is kind of giving you when the world is giving you that, try not to take it out on your family. Try to lean on your family for support. And if your family doesn't want to support, then go to other people who will support you. And those are your family. Those are your family. And just love yourself and love the ones around you.
And just to add to that, I think the thing with friends is, unlike family, which you're born into, so you guys have to figure it out, friends are technically, you get to choose them. So you get to say, you're for me, I like the way you make me feel, I like how you put this together and make me look. So I feel like friends are an extension of your family, because they're genuinely there for you. They don't have to be there. They come and go as they please. And like you said, when you find a real one who's really for you, genuine, who will ride hard for you, like you said, treat people how they treat you. And that's my motto when it comes to especially friends or with anybody. If you have a friend who always show up, make sure you show up for them. If you have a person who always give, make sure you give it when they need. So that's the one thing I think that's great about friends. You get to pick them.
That's great. That's amazing.
You get to pick them. You don't have to deal with them if you don't want to.
And make sure they pick you too.
Right. Make sure it's give and take for each. I just feel like that's what it is in any ship. Absolutely. You can't be the only one giving. We both have to be mutually beneficial to each other. I want to be there for you, I want the best for you, but I want you to want that for me too. And that's the one thing, you get to choose who's really there for you.
Yeah. And keep the people who only want the best for you around you. Keep them around you. Only the best people with the best things for you. The right people who want the right things for you. That's your real family. That's your real family, guys.
For real. So, by closing out with conflict resolution, so we just said a whole bunch of stuff. We just shared a lot of experiences. And thank you so much, Asia, for coming on. This is my family, by the way, y'all.
Thank you.
Give me a hug. But one of the things that I want you guys to take away from this situation is conflict resolution. We all know how problems are created, but how do we solve them? And some of the things that we touched on is active listening. Don't just wait for the person to express how they feel just so you can have a reaction or a response to say. Actually listen to what they're saying. Active listening is very, very important, because you get to really understand why it is that individual is feeling that way. And then you get to reciprocate on why you reacted that way to something they did, or maybe why they reacted to something you did, vice versa, or whatever the situation may be. But you have to be open to listen to what's being said in order to come up with a resolution. And be open to have the conversation, because like she said, we're not going to always agree with each other, and that is okay. As long as it is expressed how each person is feeling, I feel like you can come to a resolution. And thank you all for tuning in. I appreciate you all. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm going to let Asia close us out, and thank you. Bye.
Hey y'all, this your girl Asia Sparks at Sparkle Girl A, the one and only, and I am now wheeling with Danielle. Spark up!